Hi loves, welcome back to Spiritualista. Today we're going to be doing a pick a card reading all on the topic, what's your life purpose? So why is your soul here? What gifts do you have that you're meant to share with the world? And we're also going to be getting into what you can do, what steps you can take to get you a little bit closer to that goal and to that calling. So we're going to be using this little deck here, beautiful deck. And we have 3 different piles with 8 cards in each, representing 8 different questions, as well as 3 oracle cards in each pile from this Doreen Virtue Life Purpose Oracle deck. So, as you can see here, you have 3 different abstract images, as well as 3 different crystals. So we have one yellow aventurine, we have a green aventurine, and we have a red jasper. So this is only to help you guys be able to select a pile and align a little bit better with that, so that you can experience what message each pile has. So make sure to take a deep breath and center yourself so that you can let your intuition guide you to the pile that feels the most right to you. And you can pause the video right now if you want to have a little more time to do that. And I'm going to go into the 8 questions so that you know what to expect from this video here. So question number 1 is, what energy or gift is at the very heart of your soul's purpose in this lifetime? Question number 2 is, what innate strengths or passions are you meant to develop and share with the world? Question number 3, what overarching theme or lesson is your soul here to explore and to embody? Question number 4, what area of life or path will most align with your higher calling? Question number 5, what ability or quality within you is waiting to be awakened or reclaimed? Question number 6, what key obstacle or shadow pattern must you work through to step fully into your purpose? Question number 7, what kind of guidance and allies are being sent to help you on this path? And question number 8, what immediate action or mindset shifts will bring you closer to living your purpose now? And so I'm going to repeat the questions in each pile so that we can refresh our memory a little bit for every card that we pull here. They are going to be a little bit hidden, so you're going to see them one at a time here. And also remember that this is a collective reading, so it's general. Take what resonates and then leave the rest. So if you want to do a deep dive on this, I do have an Etsy shop where I do offer both career readings as well as life purpose reading, where we can get way more personal and tune into your own energy to get a deeper dive into these questions here. So yeah, this message here is meant to find you exactly when you need it. So this is a timeless reading. And once you've chosen your pile, you can skip ahead using the timestamps in the description or in the comment section. All right, so let's get started with pile 1. Hi pile 1, welcome to your reading. So if you chose this image here with the tulips as well as the yellow aventurine, this reading is for you. So I'm just going to remove these little placeholders here so that we can clear the space to put out the cards. And also I'm going to take the oracle cards and put them a little bit to the side here because we're going to be looking at those right in the end. And yeah, let's lay out the cards here for you. So the 8 questions in this order. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And this is a pre-shuffled deck, so just to save a little bit of time. But I'm not going to reveal all at once. To create a little bit of mystery here, we're going to start with this one here. So that represents the first question. So it's the core essence question here. So meaning, what energy and what gift is at the very heart of your purpose in this lifetime here? So let's see what that is. All right, that's the Page of Pentacles. Okay, guys, Page of Pentacles. So right away, like, it tells me that you have like a student soul here. You know, it's not like you have to be a student for the rest of your life. Of course, you gotta make money, but it's definitely, you have this thirst for learning, you know, like building something meaningful step by step and just turning those small little seeds of knowledge into something more long-term when it comes to your growth. So it's a very curious card. It's like an apprentice card. So it's like you're a person that you're not scared of just starting right at the beginning of something, because you intuitively know that this work is going to lead you to something bigger. So your gift is to be very patient here. You have this very grounded energy here that says that you can take this tiny little idea and turn it into something real, So it's a very earthy card. It's a very practical card. And yeah, there's still a lot of magic in that, because you can take your dreams that are just, yeah, very much abstract and just sort of anchor them into the real world here. And as a job, this could manifest in a lot of different ways. Like it could become a teacher. You could be like doing tutoring, especially with kids. And since it is a page, so I'm getting like a younger energy here in your students and young adults. And it could be farming, like sustainable farming, like permaculture, environmental work, like conservation projects, you do for the environment here. Also, of course, could be anything to do with healthcare, anything to do with especially holistic wellness, like nutrition work, doing physical therapy. You could be working with herbs, like herbalism, just like general body work. You could be doing finance, you could be doing business, like accounting, project management, anything that is like to do with the Pentacles energy here, to do with money here, and where you can help people grow something up from the ground and become an entrepreneur. So that's definitely that. Like I'm getting also like a crafty vibe from this card, where you could be very much into like creating things with your hands, like woodworking, like ceramics, any sort of like hands-on artistry that just turns something that is like more of a yin energy into a yang energy, right? So you're in this potential energy of like dealing with the clay, right, with the raw material, and you're turning it into something that is more concrete, like more from abstract to concrete here. So definitely like making something that is a little bit shapeless taking shape. That's the energy I'm getting for you here. And it also like it could be that you are going to be into more service oriented paths here. So like you could be working with charities that focus on youth development here. And like could be food security, could be creating education access to people. And yeah, like definitely something to do with finances too, like where you teach finance. We have these programs to communities that are a little bit underserved. So anywhere that you can help other people build their own solid foundations, that's the thing that's going to be lighting you up here. So on a personal level, like I feel that your purpose here, in order to achieve this, like we haven't gotten to the question, but I'm just kidding. So I'm going to say that it's going to include developing a growth mindset, and you have to always be willing to learn new skills in order to strengthen this. So that could be, for example, like going back to school even a little bit later in life. And like taking a workshop, doing one of those master classes, like starting side projects here and there. So like you are going to be the friend that inspires other people by saying that it's never too late to start with this. So Page of Pentacles is like, it's like a planting energy. Like it's like planting a seed, or you plant an acorn and you're not seeing the oak tree overnight, but it's like a very steady, like very consistent energy that's going to be exactly what makes it grow into a tree. So you have like a builder's soul, almost like your soul came here to build, and just patiently nurture something into something more lasting. So it's going to create a very stable career for you, or a community project, so it's going to create this very stable loving life for yourself, but also for those people around you. And question number 2, so that's your natural talents, right? So what strengths and passions are you meant to develop and share with the world here? All right, so 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, wow, okay. So that's like, it's a good scarcity card, right? So it's when things feel scarce financially, and like maybe at some point in your life you felt abandoned, right? Like you had to struggle on your own here. But the gift here is that now you can use that lived experience that you've had and use that as empathy, right? As empathy fuel. So you're already uniquely wired to notice when someone else is suffering and to extend a hand to that person. So definitely something to do with like social work, right? With counseling, so that you're helping people in crisis to get to a better place. You know, it could be helping people that are going through poverty, addiction struggles, like emotional struggles. Like it's like a crisis support card. So could be that you're very much into nonprofits, you know, like charity work that focus maybe on homelessness, you know, and food banks, community shelters, like you're helping refugees, and also like it's pentacles too. So it's definitely like financial coaching could be a thing for you, you know, where you're teaching people how to budget, you know, and how to repair their credits and just start rebuilding their lives and putting it back together. And that like could be healthcare roles as well. I'm getting a lot of that, where you're supporting people that are maybe like in marginalized groups, you know, just like public health, right? We're working with people with disabilities, community nursing here, and even like spiritual, like could be a spiritual outreach work, like our faith-based work here, where you're creating space for people that feel a little bit forgotten, where you teach them how to reconnect with something that gives them meaning and community here. So this doesn't have to be a formal career, you know. It could be mentoring people, like mentoring especially younger people that remind you of that younger version of yourself that was struggling. So I'm getting like you could be volunteering, right? You could be volunteering at a food pantry here, and creating like small local projects that give back to the people, you know, like organizing like clothes for the winter, you know, like winter coats, and having a type of project like that where if you live in a colder climate, right? And even like teaching just practical life skills to teenagers, for example, could be that. So on a deeper level, this card's like, it says that your purpose involves turning wounds into something better, right? Into something that will give the person a better outcome, like a better chance in life. So yeah, like the very thing that once made you feel unworthy here are going to be the key to your own compassion here and to your own leadership. So you're going to be showing others by example that this dark period that they're going through is temporary, and that connection is always possible, and that you can take yourself out of that situation with a little bit of support here. So this is a heavy card normally, right? But it's in this case your reminder that you are that bridge that has served you, like it has taught you something. So that has taught you to be that bridge between feeling isolated to feeling hopeful, right? Where your soul didn't just come here to endure this hardship, but that was the lesson that you needed to learn to, yeah, be this expansive energy, you know, and like light the way for other people that are still standing in that situation. And so the next question is, what's your soul mission, right? Your soul mission theme. So what overarching theme or lesson is your soul here to explore and to embody? That's how I wrote it down. So that's card number 3. So let's see here. Yes. Okay, so that's reverse, right? So Knight of Swords, a reverse. Yeah, it's interesting when we get the reversals in these pick of cards. I always keep them reversed because I feel that there is a deeper purpose in sending out that message to you guys. So yeah, it's okay. So the upright Knight of Swords is all about like quick decisions, right? It's like charging forward and being very fast and like a little bit impulsive, right? Acting before thinking. So reverse, it's telling me the opposite, right? So your soul came here to be mindful. Like we're learning the art of mindfulness here and mindful action, so that you can balance those really big ideas with some patience here and have a lot of strategy around those. So I feel like you might have a very curious mind, like a very almost restless mind, and that gives you a natural ability to think very fast, right? And maybe like debate very passionately. So part of your life lesson here is realizing that like not all things need to be rushed, right? You don't have to like kick down doors like at full speed all the time, right? But you're here to explore timing and discernment here, and just learning when to speak, like conscious communication here, learning when to listen, And that's going to be playing out a role here, where you let your plans actually mature before acting on them and before letting them take shape. So this could be careers and projects where lots of careful strategy matters, like research, for example. Could be like investigative, like journalism, for example, like any sort of policy work where rushing could harm the bigger picture, right? Could be something to do with law, like legal advocacy. Could be writing, teaching, like I said before, just like coaching roles where you guide others to think critically, but also kindly, right? So it could be that you're a mediator, like a conflict mediator, like a life coach. Could be that you want to do debate clubs. I'm getting that too, like ethical debate clubs, or even like technology, like engineering fields here where it requires lots of planning, right, and testing. So that's going to be crucial so that you don't have to have a lot of revisions around that. So software development, architecture, anything to do with safety, right? So, and also like I'm getting very much like an activist vibe from this. So definitely that's not out of the picture. Like there's a vibe of activism or like advocacy, and activism. Like it's just that it has to be approached with lots of wisdom here, and if you're going to be creating change, you have to do so without burning any bridges, right? Or without exhausting yourself. So on a personal growth level, this night is all about like your soul has to master emotional intelligence, especially in communication here, and understanding that words, they do carry lots of weight, right? And sometimes the slower approach or the more quiet approach is going to be the thing that has the most impact here. So it could be a past life thing, it could be that a past life, or even like earlier in this life, you used to take those steps before looking, you tried to force outcomes, right? And now at this point, you're here to just embody a more calm and like wise kind of energy here. So yeah, it feels like, what do you call the people that like do the archery, like I don't know the name of that, but you can't just shoot the arrow, right? You have to wait for the perfect moment before releasing that. So it feels like that, you're learning how to be that. So it's not to just chase every single idea, right? But just, yeah, make sure to be mindful so that you can choose the right ones here. And aim that arrow with lots of intention, right? And trust that this mindful action is going to take you further than speed in this case. And then question number 4. So what area of your life or path will most align you with your higher calling? Yes, okay, so King of Wands, all right. So yeah, definitely that's a confirmation that your higher calling, like it's in leadership, and it's like in places where inspiration and vision are very much required here. So he's very visionary, this king. Like he motivates other people to follow him, right? He's not a tyrant king, but like he's a very inspiring king. So it tells me that, yeah, your life path is all about places where charisma and creativity can ignite some change for you, where you can take lots of bold action. So you're not here to be like behind the scenes and anything here, but you're here to be a leader, right? You're here to lead movements here and inspire your communities. So definitely like business leadership, launching startups, maybe like running your own shop, even like running your own brand, or like doing something creative here, like leading a creative agency here. So like anything to do with creative industries, could be film direction, could be fashion design, public speaking, like marketing, anything where like your ideas and your passion can light a fire under other people. And again, like teaching, motivational work, like leading workshops, like coaching, just mentoring younger people. And also like, community leadership, starting initiatives that address social issues, and just like, could be environmental justice, could be serving on local councils, boards. Doesn't have to be like you're a politician, unless you're going to be a a politician that comes from your heart chakra, I wouldn't recommend that. But you could do something with leadership, otherwise, like with charity, right? And like nonprofit leadership. So just, yeah, something that's could be like founding and like managing businesses that are just providing resources for education here, you know, like access to art, community development, you know, just like could be something to do with adventure as well, like outdoor careers, right? Like your guide and guiding expeditions. Imagine like a travel blogger, you know, any path where this courage here, this king and this enthusiasm inspires other people to do the same, right? And expand themselves through following you here. So yeah, like your soul is asking you to just stay in this confidence, embrace this confidence, right? And this decisive action, right? So just trust your vision, and remember to set a tone, because your voice can do that. You have that potential, and your creativity can spark something bigger than yourself here. So yeah, you're meant to just show other people that passion and also integrity can create transformation. So that's how you're going to be aligning yourself with your higher calling, you know, by leading people with lots of courage here and also authenticity, you know. So let's check out your hidden potential. So what ability or quality within you is waiting to be awakened or reclaimed? Ace of Swords. All right. Wow. Yeah, that's lots of mental clarity here. Like, it's breakthrough thinking. So now, like, yeah, like there's so much power in your mind here, you know, and also in your voice. So that you have this capacity to just cut through confusion here and communicate your ideas very clearly. Like you could be like, you have Mercury in Virgo, you have Mercury in Gemini, and you're very good at that. You'd be a good teacher. Like you're very good at explaining things. You have a way of saying things that it sounds fun, like people understand you easily. And there's a word in Swedish for that. It's called pedagogisk. I'm not sure in English, but it's like it's a skill where you're a good teacher, basically. You're very good at explaining things. So, like, tells me that the ability is like that's waiting to be awakened in you. It's like it's the power of your mind and your voice and integrating those, right? So it's the capacity to just not confuse people, right? And communicate your ideas very clearly. And yeah, again, it's like this could be journalism, right? This could be writing. So using words to expose truths here and like sharing stories and educating people, like teaching where you give them like insights, right? And like aha moments where you get people to think critically through your own voice, right? Could be also law, like advocacy, you know, it could be that you're fighting for fairness here and you're reshaping systems that aren't working anymore. And just like could be content creation too, you know, like public speaking. And maybe like you want to start something like a podcast, right? And create workshops, make videos around that, you know, around teaching. And could be like coaching, you know, mentoring again. You just like you need to be in a place where you help other people cut through any sort of mental clutter so that they can find clarity in their own lives. So even beyond careers, like, yeah, just it's all about trusting yourself, right? Trust that you have a lot of intellectual gifts here. Because this, like, you might have been silenced before, right? And it made you doubt yourself and like doubt your ideas. So this card tells you that those ideas are needed. So it's all about you being able to reclaim that ability to express yourself and express your boundaries very clearly and just like maybe start that YouTube channel, right? Or do a blog, you know, something that helps other people reach your own insights, people that need those insights. So yeah, this is great, you know, just use that skill to just carve new paths for people, you know, and cut away the old stories here. So definitely something to do with speaking, with writing, like teaching. It's all about awakening the clarity and courage in your voice, right? And trusting that that's going to be the thing that changes lives, you know, but starting with your own through this experience here. And your challenge. So the challenge to master, or what key obstacle or shadow pattern do you have to work through in order to step fully into your purpose? So it's this card here. Let's see. All right, so Death card, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So don't panic about this card, right? It's not physical death, right? And in tarot, like, death is the most transformative card. Like, it's a very empowering card. And it's all about endings, right? And rebirth. So it's helping you release, right? So as an obstacle and a shadow, yeah, it tells me that one of the biggest things you're going to need to master is just the art of letting go, basically. So just like releasing old identities, like releasing old stories, right? So maybe you still have a little bit of this, not believing that you're not enough, and that you're sort of dimming yourself to make other people feel comfortable. So could be that you are in a toxic environment right now, currently in your career, and it feels sort of like outdated for your energy here. So it's just not serving your growth at this point. So it's all about you learning how to face that change without clinging to the familiar, right? And trusting that the endings are going to be necessary for clearing space for what's actually aligned with you. So just that's saying, like, don't carry too much of the old baggage into the new chapter that you're meant for, right? Because I think you've been a little bit afraid of change. And you felt maybe like responsible for holding things together like really long after they just expire. So this is going to demand some courage from you, right? And you have to be able to choose this transformation even when it's kind of uncomfortable. So this could be that you are indeed like in a safe, I'd say safe, but like uninspiring job, right? And now you're at that point where you're wanting to pursue something more meaningful to you. And you're having to end something that is stifling your growth, even if it's going to be painful at first. But it's all about dismantling those limiting beliefs, So it could be that you need to start some therapy, yourself, like go through some coaching here just to practice that so that you can learn from that and shed that old self-image that you have. And then after that, just use your own rebirth story in order to mentor other people, right? And be a counselor to other people through your own transition here. So, and then you could be working with like grief, like support groups, maybe even like career change coaching if you did that journey yourself, right? And yeah, just creating programs for people that are starting over after hardship, right? After losing something. So yeah, like I said, this card is all about endings, but it's also beginnings. So it's like, when you do gardening, right, you have to cut off the leaves if they're bad, like if they're drying off, then you cut off the leaves to help the plant grow. It's like pruning, right? That's what it's called. So that's what allows the other leaves to grow back in a healthier way, right? And new branches to expand out of the tree here. So because you're taking away what's dead, it's the same energy here. So just this is a rebirth card. So it's telling you that it's possible, and that's actually part of your superpower. So be willing to embrace change instead of being scared of change. And that's how you're going to be able to open these doors here for yourself. And so support from spirit card. We always have one of those in our reading. So this is what kind of guidance and resources are being sent to help you on this path. So let's see here. So the Knight of Pentacles. All right. So yeah, again, Pentacles, very steady energy, very like reassuring energy here. So tells me that you're very reliable as a worker, right? You don't always rush, right? But you always finish what you start. So as guidance, tells me that spirit is sending you like very consistent support systems and people that follow through, right? They show up for you, and just like to keep you grounded when you're a little bit tempted to give up, right? And go off course with your project. So I bet you have a lot of mentors and coworkers that just model a lot of dedication for you so that you can sort of absorb a little bit of their discipline. And also could mean that you're going to be, when it comes to like not allies, right, but more resources, that you're going to be granted like a scholarship, right, or like a workplace like training program that's going to help you build your own skills over time here. And just generally like friends and family members that remind you to like pace yourself, right? And especially with the Knight of Swords in reverse, just like, yeah, just be wise about this. Like budget, you know, just take very small but very steady steps. And your opportunities are going to be through routine and responsibility and like apprenticeship, right? And like volunteer positions so that you can develop your mastery rather than just getting lots of instant results. So it's a very practical card. It's wise, but it's like a practical wisdom, right? So it's like, it's a very, yeah, you're gonna have like very dependable allies in this, right? And like, I think you're gonna be receiving like not big, like they're gonna be small, but very consistent income streams, right? Like a friend that offers to help you. Like if you're writing a resume, right? And you always have this friend that's going to be offering to help you proofread that or make that for you, like in graphic design, make it prettier. You know, it could be that you're going to be connected with a local charity that's going to be providing you the resources that you need, exactly what you need to start a new project. And any career paths and environments that are connected to this could be like agriculture, for example, right? And like I said before, like anything to do with the environment, sustainability, you know, anything that has that very like careful, very like slow effort. And yeah, also just budgeting, like accounting, you know, like finances, and just work that values reliability and planning here. And yeah, it's going to be things where long-term dedication just changes other people's lives over years, right? So like I said, it could be healthcare, could be like holistic healthcare. It's something that it doesn't change overnight. That's the energy, right? So it's going to be something that it's a medicine that integrates holistic care, for example, that really takes a longer time, but it's more solid rather than just being a quick fix. So it's all about slow growth, right? But that's still growth, but it's slow growth. So it's going to be like, yeah, it's one step at a time. That's the card, right? It's like you're going to have people around you that are very consistent. They're going to be inspiring you. And trust that these opportunities are Spirit's way of making sure that you have the endurance and the resources to go on with your project, right? And your purpose. So that's going to happen. And next aligned step for you. So what immediate action or mindset shift will bring you closer to living in your purpose now? So, oh, wait. All right. 8 of Pentacles. So many Pentacles today. Wow. So that's very practical as well, right? It's a crafty card. So like I said before, like woodworking, and it was a very crafty card. It's like, yeah, it's like rolling up your sleeves, right? And just committing to yourself, committing to that mastery. So it's going to be a very dedicated, very consistent effort in this area. That's going to be the thing that's going to be lighting you up here. So it feels like now, since this is like the next steps, right? Now would be a perfect time for you to just take a class, right? Go back to this, like go study, like take a little workshop, right? Get a certification that just sort of deepens your expertise, right? It could be that it's a creative craft, it could be a healing modality, but you just invest in yourself, right? Invest in your growth and just show up for your passion regularly, you know, even if it's just 1 hour a day where, say that you're writing, right? You're practicing an instrument, you know, you're creating something, you're building something, you're volunteering, like you're building your portfolio. Just do that. Just invest in that on a daily, and that's going to be the slow drip, consistent effort that you need to go through with this here. And also just seek out mentorship here and seek out apprenticeship opportunities so that you can learn from people that are already doing what you want to do. And also just refine your craft publicly here. So I'm getting like, if you're selling something like a physical product, even a digital product, like start a blog about it, you know, start a YouTube channel, start running an Etsy shop, you know, start a community group. Like it doesn't have to be perfect for you to start that. You can learn in doing that, you know. I became way better at tarot since I started this channel than I was before when I was just doing it for myself. Because now then I was doing, yeah, for me and for my friends. Now I'm doing it for all signs. Now I'm doing the pick a card reading. So like, even though you have a YouTube channel, it doesn't have to be that you're a master, right? You're perfect. And that's when you start. So just do that now. Just do that now. And that's going to give you a lot of support and encouragement too, to continue doing that, because you're going to be like a little bit held accountable. So just mastery over instant gratification energy here, right? So it's not going to be happening overnight, but it's going to be happening through very small, very deliberate actions that you're going to be taking every day. So be patient, and your patience is going to be shaping this journey here over time, you know, and those little small pieces here and there are going to become something big for you. So it's telling you to just do the work that you love, right? Even in very small doses, and trust that spirit is going to meet your effort with opportunity. So the path is going to reveal itself as you commit to showing up for your craft, right? So let's do the oracle cards here. All right, so I pulled these out a few days ago, so I don't even remember what these are, because I want to be surprised myself, right? But okay, let's see. First one, see, okay, so study. Makes sense, right? And let's see, I'm gonna read the text too. Strength, and then we have let go. Oh my god, this is crazy. This is crazy. Oh my god. Wow, yeah, it makes sense. It makes very sense. Okay, so let's see here. I'm just gonna zoom them in a little bit. So study is reading, research, and education help you gain confidence and clarity about your career. And like I said, it's all about you honing in on that knowledge, you taking that class, you know, you're approaching a mentor. But also, I see this as a teacher card too. Because like at this point right now, you are being the student. But then in the future, you definitely have the voice to speak out your knowledge and speak out your skills and teach other people and inspire other people, especially with the King of Wands here. So that is the first oracle card. And strength is everything you've experienced in your life has made you strong and courageous. Oh my God. I didn't even read this. I just read the headline. But yeah, it makes perfect sense here with the Five of Pentacles too. So see, so this is how you're taking those moments where you felt like life was just completely breaking down and you just lost everything. And there was a purpose in that. You know how some people think that it's cold to say that everything happens for a reason, but I truly, truly, truly believe that. So even in the moments of the most despair that you've been going through in your life, there is always something there that at a soul level you were supposed to learn, because in the future it's going to open up something for you where you're going to be able to teach others through that hardship. So, and strength could also be, I'm just getting this, like when it comes to healthcare, right? Where you're helping people regain their strength. So like I said, just counseling. It could be like physical therapy, or people have lost access to their body and you're helping them get back to themselves, right? So, oh, so relevant. Wow. And then we have let go. So let's read it together. Walk away from the situation in order to resolve it. Yeah, wow, wow, wow. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And it's very much connected to the death card here, and how life is all about transformation. And if you are feeling like you are stuck in a place right now where you feel like you don't belong anymore, you feel like it's no longer aligned with you, you're not on the right path, right? You're not feeling your soul calling you in that direction anymore at this point, don't be scared of this, because this is becoming increasingly the situation that's blocking you here from reaching this goal. So don't be afraid to let go. And that's what's going to be the transformation experience that you need to face in order to evolve into what your soul truly wants you to do here. Wow, wow. So this is a beautiful one, pile one. Wow. So this is it. You know, that wraps up your life purpose reading. And I really hope this resonated, you know. And if they did, I'd love to hear your stories. So drop a little comment below and just let me know what part hit home for you. Maybe you're already doing some of this work. Maybe it's something that you've been dreaming of the careers that I've mentioned here. You know, just let me know. And I read every comment. I reply to every comment. So yeah, it would be really fun, because it makes my day every time you guys connect with me there. So, and of course, if you found this helpful, you found this like inspiring in any way, please give this video a like because it really helps the channel grow and also tells YouTube that these messages matter to you. So, and if you're new here and you want to catch the next pick a card or the next weekly forecast, then just go ahead and hit subscribe and tap the little bell so that you don't miss anything. So thank you so much, guys, for spending this time with me today. And I'm sending you so much love and so much encouragement as you keep building your purpose, just one step at a time. So I'll see you guys in the next reading. Okay, bye. Hello, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. So if you chose this image here with a little lemon, as well as the green aventurine heart chakra crystal here, this is your pile. So as I said before, I have 8 cards here plus 3. So these bigger ones here underneath are oracle cards. And I'm going to start your reading. So just, if you want to take a moment to settle in and maybe like close your eyes a little bit, take a little breath. Just that helps you tune in a little bit more to what's calling you right now. So the answers that you're going to get today might not be what you expect, but that's just part of these readings. So let's just see what unfolds here. I'm just going to remove these little placeholders here out the way. And also, let's scoot this to the side so that we can work with the oracle cards right at the end. All right, so let's see here. What do we have here today? So card 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, so let's see if they are in frame. And of course, I'm going to repeat all the questions again every time we turn over a card so that we can refresh our memories a little bit. And I'm going to do one at a time here so that we can get a lot of clarity on what that message is specifically for you. So, all right, let's get to it. I'm so excited. Oh, pile 1 was so good. Oh my goodness, I have expectations. I'm really hoping that pile 2 will be equally as good, maybe even better. So let's see here. Question number 1. This is your core essence card, meaning what energy or gift is at the very heart of your purpose in this lifetime. So 2 of Wands. Oh, right, 2 of Wands. Okay, so it's an exciting energy. Okay, so yeah, this is very tied to vision, this card. It's like, it's exploration, right? It's like, oh, decision-making energy. So I feel like you're here to dream beyond anything that's feeling familiar, right? And you want to be able to take very deliberate steps towards something that stretches past your comfort zone here. So it's a courageous card, right? It's something like, normally in the Rider-Waite, like this card is someone standing on the edge of a map, right? Has a globe in his hand, and it's just like realizing that there's a whole world of possibilities waiting here. And this card here in the Real Talk Tarot, you can see this person is sitting by a computer and they're looking at a travel agency, looking to book the next trip. So wow, yeah, so it's an exploration energy, this one, right? So it's all about, yeah, I think your gift, like, it's the ability to see potential before it's obvious to everyone else, right? And to strategize your way towards that potential. So I feel a lot, of course, in practical terms, this could be travel work, right? Like global work. So it could be tourism, could be becoming a travel writer, travel blogger, right? Someone that educates people about cultural stuff, right? Could be even like humanitarian aid, you know, running international programs. Could be Doctors Without Borders, could be something like that where you get to travel. And of course, could be business strategy too, right? Could be launching a startup, could be like expanding local businesses into new markets here. Something where you can innovate, you know, innovate in industries that really needs that fresh vision energy here. And also, like I said in pile 1, this is a lot about just education here and mentorship, where you're guiding other people to broaden their horizons here. But in this case, I feel that it's more connected to just teaching abroad, right? And like running exchange programs and just yeah, inspiring young people to just think a little bit bigger. And also just urban planning, generally architecture, could be anything that is like literally shaping the future landscape here. And just like it's a very expansive energy. So it could be like you're doing charity projects, right? You're doing activism, and you're helping communities expand their opportunities here. So it could be that you're like helping build schools, right? You're creating skill sharing networks, right? You're developing outreach programs here, and you're teaching. Like it could be also that you're teaching at a distance, right? It could be that you have a mentorship program that is online based, so that you get to travel, so that you get to move around and still expand minds while you are expanding yourself through visiting different places. Let me know if you're a Sagittarius. I'm getting this vibe because it's or a Sagittarius moon, perhaps, because there's definitely that itch to travel here. So, and outside career, like it's about choosing a bolder path, right? It's about embracing crossroads moments, this card. So it could be that it involves moving to a new city, and could be just like learning a skill that just, it's a little bit of both. Like it scares you a little bit, like it's an adventure work, but it also excites you a lot. So yeah, like you don't want to play it safe, you just, yeah, you're here to look out, and just like take your direction with lots of intention, and just like it's, yeah, you're brave, wow. So think of yourself as someone that creates possibilities here, and your soul is really happy when you get to plan very wisely and take very calculated risks, right? And that's what inspires other people to see that a bigger and more connected world is always within reach here. So beautiful. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. Wow, interesting. Okay, so well, so natural talents, right? So what innate strengths or passions are you meant to develop and share with the world? This is this card here. So 501s. Oh my gosh. Wow, 501s is so interesting there because like 501s is normally everybody, like it is a conflict card, right? But in the context of your talents, yeah, it's like you have this natural gifts for like healthy competition, right? So I feel that you're pulled to almost like problem solving, right? Creative problem solving. So it could be debates, It could be that you're just not scared of stepping into like dynamic situations where there are different perspectives that are clashing, right? And you're not scared of that tension, right? You can turn that into progress here. So I feel that you're gonna love to work in environments where there are lots of ideas that are being tested and like strengthened through challenge here. So definitely like a team-based energy here, like a team-based creative work. So it could be marketing, it could be product development, like anything like advertising, or brainstorming, like and you have like this little bit of rivalry, like that is still friendly. That is the thing that pushes the ideas further here. Could be also to do with sports, to do with like fitness, right? Where any field where there's a little bit of competition, and that's the tool for growth, and that's the tool for teamwork here. And anything to do with like negotiation, just like could be law, diplomacy. You could work at like a union, anywhere where you get to resolve things, right? And you get to mediate energies here, and you create like solutions for people. Like you create fairness, you balance connections here that are a little bit unstable here. And I'm even getting like marriage counseling, could be that too, where you enter a room with tension and you manage to actually dissolve that tension. That's amazing. Wow, that's such a cool skill. Such a cool skill. So yeah, wow, I'm feeling like definitely it's an innovation energy, right? Like it could be that you're thriving like in a startup culture here, where you need to be in a place where there is required to have a lot of fast thinking, right? And also you need to be able to adapt here. And also just activism, like community organizing, like where you're gonna have a lot of different voices, and you are able to channel a lot of your own passionate energy into more like action, right? Effective action here. So it's like, it's all about you showing that conflict can be creative here rather than just avoiding conflict altogether. So it can be constructive, right? And even a little bit fun if it's handled with respect. So I feel that you're that friend that can mediate anything, right? If you have a friend group and there's like a heated discussion, you just you're the one that sort of like you encourage people to voice their opinions so that the best ideas can like rise to the top here. So yeah, your soul just came here to demonstrate that growth, like it usually happens in this sort of messy, like yeah, messiness of collaboration here. So you very much embrace challenge rather than fearing challenge. And that in turn inspires people to step up, right, and work together for creating something better here. So wow, it's an amazing skill to have. All right, so let's check out number 3. So soul mission theme. So what overarching theme or lesson is your soul here to explore and embody? Let's see here. 8 of Cups. All right, so 8 of Cups. It's like a interesting card. Wow, this is like all about departure energy. So, like I said, I went to 2 of Wands there too. But like it's, I don't mean departure like as in an airport. Of course, it could be, but it's more like when you know that something has run its course and you're being brave enough to just walk away from that and walk towards deeper fulfillment for yourself. So it's about choosing your own growth over stagnating at a place because it feels comfortable to you. So your soul is learning how to trust that leaving behind the things that aren't nourishing you is going to be the thing that opens the door to something that is, right? And something that is way more meaningful to you here. So it could mean that you're at the point where you're going to have to change careers because you're feeling like you've outgrown something here, like a role that you have currently, even if it seems stable. And could also mean that you're going to have to be walking away from relationships and environments that limit yourself, like limit your spiritual growth. And yeah, like definitely travel. Like it is a departure card, so we're going to have to include travel in that, you know. And in this case, it feels more like not travel for work, but travel for self-discovery, you know, and book that fancy hotel room, but for yourself, and order that room service, you know, and go to the beach alone and go tourist alone. Like you just, yeah, just dedicate some time to yourself, right? And to creative expression that's going to be feeding your soul here. And even starting therapy. I want to say that too. That would be good for you here. So yeah, and it's all about, I feel like you have this drive to help others also navigate difficult transitions here. So it could be that you're coaching people in the future through their own struggles with their careers, and also supporting people to just leave something that isn't healthy, you know, and just volunteering with that. Like maybe volunteering with organizations that guide people through very difficult life changes for them. Like it could be recovery, like addiction, right? And people that leave prison, you know, like halfway re-entry programs, you know. So yeah, and there's like, this card is all like you're not satisfied with anything that is like on the surface when it comes to success, right? So you're here to embody the lesson that sometimes the bravest thing you can do, like, is not staying and enduring the thing, right, that's not good for you, right? But it's turning towards what's unknown and scary, because you are very brave. I'm already getting this so much from this reading. So it's like, if anyone can do it, you can do it. And it's because you know that there is more that is waiting for you, so it's going to be worth it. So it's going to be all about, you know, honoring this gift and being able to move on when you feel like you're craving something that is better for you and more enriching for you. So yeah, and through those choices, you're going to be able to show other people that letting go can be an act of hope and an act of self-love rather than just losing something here. And so guiding direction card. So what area of your life or path will most align you with your higher calling here? So number 4. So we have the Fool. Well, of course we have the Fool. It's like, oh my gosh. Okay, so Fool is the new beginning energy. So it's all connected here. That's why I'm laughing. Like, it's all about just trusting yourself, even when you don't really know where life is taking you right now. So your higher calling is like, it's in a place where there is a lot of adventure and this spontaneous energy, because it feels like you're so open-minded, right? You know that there's so much possibility, that's essential to you. So it's just, this is your calling. So again, travel, just explore new cultures, like you probably would love backpacking, like cultural exchange programs. You'd love working in tourism, just creating content for that, like travel content. And yeah, like even just starting a business, like launching a passion project that could be to do with that, It's something that breaks molds here. Like, could be developing art as well. And yeah, like it's a young energy too, the Fool. So it could be that it's to do with working with kids, right? Or working in education here, where you're bringing in a different energy, right? You're bringing in some fresh, like more playful energy to learning. And you're encouraging a lot of curiosity in other people here. And also volunteer work, like humanitarian work, right? Where you're stepping into like unfamiliar communities with lots of openness and lots of humility, and helping animals, There is a little dog and there is no, oh, there is one here too. I didn't see it. So see, there's a tiny little dog there. So yeah, definitely like could be charity work to do with animals, adoption. So yeah, wow, amazing, amazing. Okay, so beautiful, right? I feel like, yeah, you would thrive in that. You would thrive in that, especially if it's to do with travel. And you could also integrate all of those, like all of the above, right? But definitely that would be the most sustainable thing for you here. So it's telling you to release fear, right? And don't be scared of making mistakes, because yeah, you're not here like to walk on something that's predictable, that sort of path, right? But you're here to just embrace something that is more uncertain, a little bit scary, because that's how you're going to be showing other people that it's possible to do that. So, even though this is a little bit scary, like for most people, for you, I feel that you just see possibilities, you're very curious. So your higher calling is always going to be found where you get to be curious rather than fearful, and take those risks, right? Because that's what's going to make you feel very much alive and very authentic to yourself. And so number 5, so hidden potential, right? What ability or quality within you is waiting to be awakened or reclaimed? So pile 2 has the 9 of Swords. Oh yeah, 9 of Swords, wow. It's like, oh goodness gracious, you have the 9 of Swords and you have the 5 of Wands. Okay, so 9 of Swords it's all about worry, this card. It's like being very mentally overwhelmed, like anxiety, right? But in the context of your life purpose, it's like it's the hidden strength here, where you're very much able to transform anxiety into this compassion, right? And this resilience here. So it feels like the quality to waiting to awaken in you is emotional resilience, and this like conscious processing of yourself and your inner world here. So it's like a gift where you could be using like even your more like dark thoughts as stepping stones towards wisdom and empathy here. So definitely could be a career where your emotional insight is going to be your superpower. So counseling, right? Psychology, being a life coach, being a spiritual mentor for someone, a healer. Could be creative expression, right? Could be writing, making music, making art, something that just channels that raw emotion into something that's going to be healing for other people, right? And again, like support work, just in general, like helping people, helping animals that are struggling, helping especially people struggling with mental health, you know, struggling with grief, and helping them release their trauma, you know, through mindfulness, through wellness practices. Could be that you're teaching yoga, you know, meditation classes, anything that you've tried yourself that has helped you reduce stress. Now you can apply those techniques from your own journey and help other people through having that experience yourself here. So this card tells me that you've faced a lot of self-doubt in your life, you know, and a lot of fears that have felt very isolating to you. And now, you know, that's why you're so brave. This is why you're brave, because you've learned through that, right? And now you're not running from that anymore. So you've developed this ability to just hold space for other people without judging them, because you know what it feels like to be in that place. So, you know, it's just like, yeah, your soul came here to show like that there's nothing to be scared of in that pain. Like, it doesn't define you, right? So it's the awakening is realizing that your mind can be, yeah, it can be your challenge for sure. It can create all of this for you, but it can also be a very good tool. So by reclaiming your own mental power through your own, maybe going to therapy, your own spiritual practice, you know, your own self-compassion, your creative outlets, like, you can transform anyone's personal struggles into guidance here and help other people navigate their own things here. So, wow. That's super cool. That's super cool. I'm getting, for some of you, this could even mean working at a retreat, like a spiritual retreat that is abroad, right? Like Rhythmia, like a place in Costa Rica and Bali, where you go and you can hold mentorship seminars, you can do healing classes, you can do like a yoga retreat, you know, like a shaman retreat, anything that involves a lot of travel, where you get to heal people in different countries and different places, and you get to, you know, sort of like scratch this itch of traveling that you have, and be of a benefit not just in one location but all over the world here. So it's beautiful. Wow. And this is cool too, because if it's healing, like, you can definitely do this from all over, right? You can do this on the internet, you can do it online, because it's energy work, so it works at a distance too. So wow, that's super cool, guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have the question number 6. So that is the challenge to master. So what key obstacle or shadow pattern do you have to work through to step fully into your purpose? So let's see. The star. Yeah, of course it's the star. See? Wow. Okay, so star, if you don't know, is about healing. So like I said, it's hope and it's healing. That's the two themes, the main themes of this card. So as an obstacle, it tells me that it's about you believing that you deserve that healing, right? It's that. So it shows me that deep down, you are meant to be this source of inspiration for other people, but there is still quite a bit of self-doubt in you. And there is still some old wounds that you're working through that have convinced you that healing is for everyone else, but it's not for you. Like, everyone else should go to therapy, but not you, right? It's something like that, where, yeah, it's like you're struggling a little bit to stay hopeful after some setbacks here. And you're fearing that, yeah, I fear vulnerability in a way here, because it feels safer not to reach for something that matters, you know, and just to step fully into your purpose. You're gonna need to trust in your own worthiness here and remind yourself that you do matter. Like, your story does matter and your gifts does matter. Even if you're not feeling validated by the world yet, you can still validate yourself. So just let yourself be visible here. Do that, you know, just share your creative work, share your ideas with people, you know, if you want, and I know you can because you are brave. Like, you can even share your own process and your healing journey, right, without wanting it to be perfect. And that's going to help you heal these old disappointments that you have in yourself. So, and it's okay, go to therapy, do some journaling, you know, so you can integrate more spiritual practices into your own life. And that's in turn going to help you help others. Haven't done that process yourself here. So yeah, it feels like you could be like, there could be a fear here about launching something like a project, because you're scared that no one's going to care about this, right? And it makes that you're kind of saying no to that. You're saying no to yourself, right? So just try and practice that, and try and say yes. Say yes to things, Say yes to community groups, say yes to charities. Even if you feel a little bit unqualified, you can still learn. And also just allow yourself to receive that support, because you do deserve that. So it's okay for you to have mentors, right? And even if it's your friends, like, it's okay, just call them and talk about your struggles. It's okay. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be all put together here. It's like nobody's perfect, right? So not even you. So that's fine. And that just makes you human here. It's not going to make you weaker. So, and you can do that online too, by the way. So if you feel that it's scary to meet one person one-on-one, you can still do that online. So just allow yourself to receive that. And also could be pursuing projects like sound bath projects where you sit in a room and you have like a gong, or the singing bowl, something that is a little bit more holistic would pull you, like Reiki, something that's going to help you. Like maybe you think it's a little bit woo to get like an energy healing, but you can still try to do that and just experiment a little bit with that and see how that pulls you in, and that's going to help you soothe your own spirit and teach you how to guide other people. So if you feel that it's too intense, for example, to go to therapy and to sit and talk to someone and open up about your own past, right, and the darkness that has happened to you, maybe that could be an outlet for sure, where you can go to energy healing instead, right? And that's going to be helpful, because it's going to still help you. It's going to be very holistic, but without you having to face that fear of opening up right at first. So yeah, so I feel that's a start. But stay open for therapy. No, do that. But just, you can start there. You can start a little bit smaller for sure. And then you can start integrating more things here. And in turn, that is going to help you help others for sure with your own experience. And remember that your hope is contagious. So it's going to be about you being the light in spaces that feel very dark. But for you to be able to do that, you have to believe in yourself, right? And you have to believe in your own ability to heal and to create. So you need to work through that fear. You need to do that. Work through that fear that you're not enough. And that's going to be the thing that's going to unlock your potential here. So yeah, very important for you to do that. And so support from spirit. What kind of guidance or resources are being sent to help you on this path? Number 7. So let's see. Page of Cups. All right. So Page of Cups. Very, 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 very magical energy. Like, it's a very gentle energy. It's very soft, right? It's very like heart-based, this energy here. So yeah, like, it's not going to be obvious, the guidance that you're getting. It's not going to be like a massive thing that shows up on your doorstep. It's going to be more sensitive, and it's going to feel more intuitive. So I feel that could be like people around you, for example, that remind you to stay playful, right? And that remind you to stay more emotionally connected here. So it feels like it could be that you're meeting new people, like new friendships that are going to bring in fresh perspectives, that are going to be encouraging your artistic growth or your spiritual growth. Could be like really small, like very meaningful though, synchronicities that you get, like compliments, you get invited to go somewhere and it feels very unexpected, So it's going to be like these smaller creative opportunities here. And also just, I'm feeling mentors and guides for you too, but they're not going to look like authority figures. They're not going to be like traditional mentors, but they're going to be people that you meet throughout life that are going to share their wisdom with you, but not like in a preachy way, more like in a storytelling way, right? Like a kind way, where you don't even notice that you're expanding through them, but you are. So feels like your resources are going to be tied to, it's going to be all about emotional expression. It's going to be about creativity. So it could be that you're going to be invited to join like an art class, like a writing group, maybe like volunteer projects that light you up, I'm feeling definitely like artistic communities. And also like spiritual circles, like healing circles, meditation classes, like Reiki groups, you know, like therapy spaces where you feel more connected to them and they feel more like safe to you, where you can be emotionally honest here. So yeah, and definitely charity. I'm getting this energy a lot here too, like nonprofits that are going to be focusing on like uplifting younger people, you know, and nurturing their creative potential here. So places where, yeah, having this childlike wonder is going to be very valued. So the message here is to just stay receptive, right? And this is not going to be bringing you anything huge. Like it's going to feel very casual. And, but it's going to be the guidance that you need and the guidance that you've been asking for. So just let your curiosity and let your kindness just like open up for that and those small but very like unexpected blessings here. And so we have number 8. So next aligned step, what immediate action or mindset shift will bring you closer to living your purpose now? 9 of Pentacles. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, this is a great way to just close your reading. So 9 of Pentacles is all about self-sufficiency. It's like confidence, right? It's enjoying what you created. So the mindset shift that Spirit wants from you, like it's just own your independence and value that, right? But also just stop waiting for external validation and stop waiting for other people to tell you to feel accomplished when you can feel that within yourself. So make sure to invest in yourself here. So your next steps, like it could be a small business idea, you know, like a professional development for sure, where you're upgrading your workspace, maybe like getting some new tools, and yeah, something that upgrades yourself, that you do for yourself, right? And remember to just also celebrate yourself here and celebrate your wins. So take a break to acknowledge how far you've come, even if you still have a long way ahead before you feel completely like complete, right? You've still done a lot, so make sure to give yourself credit for that. And tend to your environment, you know, tend to your finances, create a lot of beauty, create stability around you, create little routines so that your life feels more like a place of abundance here instead of lack. And yeah, when it comes to that, when it comes to finances, just, yeah, maybe like budgeting, you know, just save up for something that you've been dreaming about, you know, and that's going to also strengthen your independence here. And so some jobs that could be connected to this are just, yeah, just something that is solo, like freelancing, right? And consulting, so that it's something where you have this hobby, but you can actually turn it into a source of income here. And also just mentoring other people in self-sufficiency and in budgeting, right? And finances. And also just, yeah, again, charities, like supporting causes, supporting charities that empower people, that empower individuals, right? Like programs teaching people how to run a business, right? How to start a business, and just like skills training for people that don't have access to that. And so you could start that, you could enable them to have that access, right? So yeah, 9 of Pentacles is that you don't have to wait for the perfect partnership or for the outside circumstances to validate your worth. So just like step into your own power and create that stability now, right? And just, yeah, you're gonna be magnetizing a lot of things here. So, but you have to do that from a place where you already feel like you're successful, right? And you feel like you are already that version that you know that you're becoming. And I know it's a little bit tricky, but that's the energy. So that's what's going to draw you closer to what you want and your purpose faster than anything else here. So that's it. And I'm going to pull your oracle cards, and let's see here. I'm going to do all 3. So we have oracle card. Look at that. And then we have energy healing. Wow. And then we have healer. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Yeah. See? Wow. Okay. So let's read them together. Let me just zoom them in here. So this says, you are able to discern answers and guidance for yourself and others. So see, and this, I mean, take this channel as an example. This is definitely something that you can do at a distance. At least it's the goal if I manage to get the channel monetized. So Then you could travel, you could bring your deck anywhere, you know, you could see different places, you could explore the world, you can meet different people, learn from their skills, and just expand yourself in that sense while still helping others and doing so on the daily here. But yeah, this is such a healing energy. Look at that. And then you have energy healing, which is your natural energy healing abilities are an important part of your life purpose here. So see, this is why it's important for you to experiment with that and just go to energy healing yourself, see what that's about, because it tells me that you do have that gift within you already. It might not be active right now, but you definitely have the potential to activate that and help others in turn. And then we have the last one here, which is healer. So this is a doctor. It seems to be a more like physical sort of healer. So you have the spiritual gift of healing and a desire to share it with others. So yeah, definitely. And I said so in the beginning, for example, Doctors Without Borders. And this is the vibe that I'm getting too, that you would thrive in an environment where you got to travel for work, but still help people heal. So take that into consideration. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful. And thinking about it, like you had this crystal too. So this is the green aventurine, and this is the heart chakra. So feels also very much connected to the healing energy, because this is what you work from when you do healing work too. So it's a beautiful synchronicity there. All right. Yes. Okay. It's such a good one. Okay, so that's where I'm gonna leave you today. And yeah, if you connected to this, if you felt like this reading resonated, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So please drop a little comment below and let me know, especially which part here resonated the most. And yeah, what kind of dreams you're hoping for, what kind of job you're reaching out for. That would be super fun to hear. So yeah, because I really love reading your comments and connecting with you that way. So yeah, and if you enjoyed this reading and if you found a little bit of guidance here, then yeah, go ahead and give this video a little like, because it really helps the channel and it helps the videos find the people that need these messages. And also, if you're new here and if you haven't just yet, just hit subscribe and tap the little bell so that you don't miss the next reading. And thank you so much for spending your time and your energy with me today. And I'm sending you so much love and so much encouragement as you keep stepping towards this future here that you're meant to create. And I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. So this is your life purpose. Pick a card. So if you chose this little image here, as well as the red jasper root chakra crystal here, this is your pile. So it's going to be 8 cards here, and then also 3 oracle cards that we're going to do at the end. So I'm just going to scoot them over here and leave them for a little bit later. And let's remove our little placeholders out the way here. And so each card here represents the 8 different questions. I'm going to repeat them, of course, so that we can remember, but we're going to do them one at a time just to extract as much information as possible about each card. Right? So question number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let me just align them here quick. So, all right. So, perfect. So, we are going to start with this one here. This is question number 1. But first of all, I'd like to ask you to just ground yourself a little bit so that you can be more receptive for this reading. So you can close your eyes a little bit. Just take a deep breath and then come back. Because, yeah, there's going to be a lot of intuition here. And sometimes the insights that are going to change things for you and reveal something for you are going to come when you least expect it. So I'm going to be saying lots of different paths, lots of different jobs here. And that's how you make sure that you know for real, like which one is truly aligned with you here. So we're going to start with your core essence card. So that is, what energy or gift is at the very heart of your purpose in this lifetime? And it's this one here. So we have the 4 of Wands. That's beautiful. Wow, that's a beautiful card. It's most people's favorite card other than the Lovers. It's and the Star. Like really, it's just it's such a joyful energy. So it's about community. It's about creating spaces where people feel seen, right? Where they can feel safe. It's something to do with uplifting people here, you know, so creating harmony for people and just, yeah, building that sense of belonging for people, you know. That's could be like through family, could be creative projects, could be friendships, could be community work, but like you have a natural ability to just bring people together here and just, yeah, could also be just like shared causes, right, that just come alive around you here. And also celebrations too, like could be that, you know, like wedding planner. Yeah, I'm getting so much of that. So it's just, it's a very fun energy, very fun, but not like in a party way fun, but like in a very, you know, I was gonna say stable way, like a harmonious way, right? And it's gonna be all about you making people connect and reminding people that life is meant to be fun and meant to be celebrated, like even in smaller ways. So yeah, for sure. It could be some sort of like wedding or like event planning here. Could be hospitality work, right? And so yeah, weddings, like retreats, festivals, you know, community festivals, cultural events. Could be teaching, could be coaching, could be like you're creating environments where learning feels like a very shared, very uplifting experience rather than a more individual experience here. And also definitely like nonprofit work, like community development, you know, where you're building programs and you're building spaces that are gonna unite people and unite maybe like neighborhoods, you know, support marginalized groups, you know, make them collaborate together, maybe in a creative way. You know, it could be theater production, something to do with music, you know, something to do with art projects, you know, in groups that just really thrive on that collective energy here. And just generally, it's a card about feeling at home, right? It's about home. So it tells me that you would thrive working in like a charity or organization that focuses on that, like focus on housing, creating stability through housing, like renovating neighborhoods, you know, or like family support services. So yeah, it's all about creating that stable, like happy home energy, you know, like that inner circle energy, and just being the friend or the family member that's going to anchor other people in love and in celebration here. So it doesn't even have to be like a job. Like I think you do this all the time. Like it could be that you're like hosting dinners, you're like organizing things that you do together in a group, you know, like hikes, right? Going out in nature and just like starting something local, like a little local club, you know, that could be also like all of those could be just part of your soul's work here. So yeah, for wands, it's like it's all about sharing, right? It's all about you feeling the happiest when you get to share your energy. So your calling is definitely not solitary, but it's about, yeah, like creating this support system that's going to ripple outward, you know, and bring people together. And that's very powerful, you know, it's very sacred, so it's beautiful. And then number 2, so natural talents, right? What innate strengths or passions are you meant to develop and share with the world? So here we got the 3 of Cups. See, wow, beautiful. So this is also all about connection. Yeah, you're like Nokia, like connecting people. That's your mantra for today. This is a beautiful energy. Like it's, yeah, definitely so much aligned with the 4 of Wands there. So, wow, it's, again, it's just collaboration energy. It's like emotional support, you know, just creating like happiness for people through connection. So it's all about like telling you that you're great at building community and doing that through encouraging celebration and encouraging friendships. So you have this natural tendency to be very uplifting to other people. That's what I'm giving here. So it's like, I think you're like, you have the tendency to like, you maybe be able to remember birthdays, you know, you just check in with people when they're struggling. Maybe you have that even intuitively that you can pick up on that without even talking. And you just send your friend the text messages exactly in that moment when they need you the most. And you turn people's just ordinary days into something special. So you definitely have this like this passion for connection here, and that's very healing for the people around you. So in practical terms, like it could be like all about careers that are in community, of course, like group work, you know, it could be social work, Counseling, but when it comes to counseling groups, you know, like even like career counseling, when it comes to coming to a workplace and being a counselor for the entire group here, like coordinating in that sense, or just event coordination here, and just even if it's creative, like I bet you'd love like forming a band, right? If you play instruments, and just theater groups, you know, dance groups, art collectives, like I said, hospitality, like service industries, places where you have an ability to create very welcoming environments for people, like charities, you know, like nonprofit works, initiatives, like organizing local fundraisers, organizing support groups, cultural festivals, also wellness, I'm getting that too, like healing, you know, like healing spaces, like yoga studios, working with retreats, working with group therapy, anywhere, like really in groups where connection is going to be key to transformation here. So like it's all about developing and sharing your passion for community. So I think that you can definitely hone that in other ways too that aren't the bread winning thing that you do, right? It could be like, you know, forming a book club, right? It can be volunteering at a community center, and just like, yeah, just hosting. I feel like you would love hosting like small gatherings that are just gonna bring people together. So you feel like you have a glue sort of energy. You're like the glue that brings all your friends together. So yeah, like your soul came here to just remind other people of the power of that and the power of unity, right? And how that brings happiness to us. So Three of Cups says that this skill and your kindness, right? And also like your way of seeing life and this willingness that you have to celebrate other people are just, they're part of the medicine that you're here to share with them and with the world. So it's beautiful. And then soul mission, right? So what overarching theme or lesson is your soul here to explore and to embody? So this is this card here. Let's see. High Priestess. Okay, so speaking of healing, so very profound energy. High Priestess. Wow, this is, yeah, you're here to embody intuition, like very deep intuition, like very much inner wisdom, right? So High Priestess is all about spiritual truth. She's all about like having that spiritual knowledge and just chasing answers within herself rather than outside herself, and just, yeah, trusting what she hears from that inner voice. So it's all about that for you. It's going to be all about trusting your inner voice, even when parts of the world around you are maybe doubting that and misunderstanding that. So I feel that your purpose might involve bringing a little bit of truth to light here, and maybe something spiritual, maybe something that isn't always like measured and explained, but like you can feel it. So that's how you know that, right? So definitely that can manifest as healing work. So it could be tarot reading, for example, could be to do with astrology, could be Reiki, like energy healing, right? Could be intuitive coaching, psychology, counseling, therapy, like any field where it's required to have a lot of insight and this capacity to listen. And that's going to be very crucial here. And also just, you can integrate that with something creative too, right? You can be like writing poems, like writing songs, making art, as long as it's something that is still like Hilma af Klint's art, you know, something that is of a more symbolic, like mystical nature and creates a message energetically. And just generally like teaching, like mentoring, helping other people develop their own self-awareness, helping them expand their emotional intelligence and their spiritual connection. Just, and again, just charity, right? Community service, especially in areas where struggles are a little bit unseen, right? Like mental health, right? Spiritual crisis. And you're going to be able to come in there and give that very compassionate guidance to people. So on a personal level, like it's asking you to embrace that stillness and that discernment and develop your own practices like meditation, like journaling, you know, and that's going to help you access your own higher wisdom here. So your soul here is to just show other people that, you know, it's okay to embody patience and intuition here, and to inspire other people to trust that their own inner knowing here and reconnect with themselves and those deeper, more spiritual layers here. So that's beautiful. And it's a contrast from this too, because I feel like, especially if you have been in your life a person that always needs to be connected and always needs to be around others, this is calling you to go more within and be more okay with being alone, right? And that's how you're going to expand. That's the next lesson, because it feels like you've mastered this. And now the next chapter is all about you listening to yourself and you finding that guidance from within yourself. And so we have the guiding direction card. So what area of your life or path will most align you with your higher calling? So let's see here. Temperance, yes, okay. Beautiful, very grounding energy. So temperance is about balance, right? It's about like creating harmony, like through blending different elements to create something that's healing. So yeah, it feels like I'm getting the sense of your purpose here being to be sort of a bridge, right? Where, yeah, you're a bridge between different things, right? Between ideas and the just like cultures, right? So you integrate people that don't see naturally like in the same way, like they don't see eye to eye. So that's your gift here. So it's gonna flourish in this, where you have this patience and this almost like sense of diplomacy here, and you're gonna be helping people integrate. And so you're gonna be sort of like diluting a little bit of that extreme, like polarized energy that we have in the world, you know, and sort of reconciling those differences between people, right? And transforming people into being able to connect and be supportive of each other, even though they have different opinions about things. So mediation work, like counseling, right? Anything to do with conflict resolution, where you're helping families, right? You're helping communities find some common ground here. So like couples therapy, for example, like healthcare, holistic wellness, like nutrition, right? Physical therapy, but also just make sure to, when I say those things, like it's about balance, this card. So it's going to be about integrating. So I'd say not just like allopathic medicine, but just bring in some holistic medicine into that, right? And with nutrition, for example, herbalism, right? Integrate herbs into that so that you can integrate the spiritual world here, the high priestess as well, into the material world and bond those two together. Like I said, you're the glue. So just glue things together. Like you're definitely a bridge. And also teaching, like mentorship, right? Where you're guiding people to either like students or colleagues to just like blend their practical skills with creativity and with their emotional intelligence. And just like, yeah, all about bridging, you know? Could be cultural bridging, could be like bridging between different faiths, right? That's very much necessary. Different traditions, different worldviews, and also just, yeah, like I said, charity, like anything humanitarian where you take different like diverse groups and you just sort of like, yeah, unify them in this very compassionate way with a shared cause that you all have in common here. And you can be the one creating that, you know? So it feels like you're gonna be an example of very balanced living here. And so yeah, you're gonna be integrating a lot of things like ambition with rest, right? And intuition with more logic, and like giving, receiving, you know, just either at home, at work, like it's gonna be all about that, just creating this balance, right? Where people are gonna feel very safe and very valued to just collaborate with each other and be inspired by each other. So your calling is about, yeah, it's diluting those extremes, and it's about just bringing harmony wherever you go. So you're going to be acting as a unifier here, and just that's going to be you walking in alignment with yourself and your higher path. So that's definitely your skill here. And so what ability or quality within you is waiting to be awakened or reclaimed? Is this card here, so your hidden potential card. Six of Wands. Okay. Yeah, Six of Wands is like victory. It's like recognition, right? I see like he's on a stage here. So yeah, it's confident leadership. So tells me that what's waiting to be awakened is sort of like, I feel like you might be lacking a little bit of courage to step into the spotlight here and own your own accomplishments here. So it feels like you might be someone you're very comfortable celebrating other people, but you sort of hesitate to celebrate yourself here. Yeah. So now it's time to do that. You know, you have to claim your success, your own success, right? And be aware about your right to be seen for your talents, right? Because that's what's going to inspire other people to believe in their own potential, because you see your own potential. So definitely, maybe that's scary for you, but like working with a more public facing career, like I said, like teaching, right? Or speaking, performing, like leading community initiatives where your presence is going to be the thing that inspires and motivates people here in any sort of creative industry, like art, music, right? Writer, anything that is public rather than hidden here. And just launching something under your own name and letting people know that it's yours so that you can get recognized for that, you know. And also just applying for grants, you know, being okay with receiving something, receiving an award, receiving a promotion that you've likely in your life been a little bit too humble to claim. And yeah, and that's going to be very beneficial to you. So just be that spokesperson, especially with activism work too, like become a visible advocate, you know, if it's for a cause that you care a lot about. So it's all about, on a personal level, to reclaim your own confidence here. Because likely you've been downplaying yourself and your own achievements here because you're a little bit scared of judgment here. So it's telling you that you're going to thrive in doing that, you know, if you manage to step out of that comfort zone and get rid of that fear. So just embrace your victories, and that's how you're going to inspire the collective. So just, yeah, remember to be uplifting towards yourself too, not other people only. So yeah, your success is meant to be rippling outwards, right? And showing other people that this courage that you're facing and your authenticity is going to be the thing that leads them to the success here. And then 6, so your challenge to master card. So what key obstacle or shadow pattern do you have to work through to step fully into your purpose? So let's see. 6 of Cups. Okay. So, yeah. It's a past card, right? It's a nostalgia card. So it tells me that your biggest challenge is to learn how to honor the past, but without getting stuck in the past. So yeah, as an obstacle, it's likely that you're clinging a little bit too much to old stories, like childhood memories and nostalgia, just like places in time where you felt more innocent here. You're sort of idealizing what that was for you, like once when that was happening. And that's sort of holding you back from stepping into your full potential here. So it feels like you're a little bit like romanticizing an older version of yourself, or like not an older, a younger version, but yeah, from an old time, right? And yeah, that's kind of impeding you from embracing the person that you're becoming here. So likely you're maybe like replaying something from your childhood, you know, like family dynamics and like childhood wounds, you know, it kind of keeps you in a loop. Recreating the same patterns until this day, and that's kind of making you fear change because part of you just like wants to feel safe in what's familiar, even though it might have been destructive. That's what you know. So to move forward, you're gonna have to just take those things as blessings, right? Even though it's hard, and just integrate. You're so good at integrating, so just do that. Just integrate those parts of yourself from your past with today. What have you learned from those things, right? And have compassion for them having taught you something. So it's not about letting go of them entirely, like they never happened, right? But however, it's about letting go from the illusions and the attachments that are limiting you here. So but you can still integrate them with what you're going through now and use those as an experience, you know, that has evolved you and refined you as a person and as a soul. So definitely some steps to take. It could be like inner child work, inner child healing, and therapy to just sort of reparent yourself and just release any relationships and habits that feel comfortable but doesn't serve your growth anymore. And just use the past as inspiration. You know, you can use that for inspiration for art, for teaching, so that you can turn your past into more like a resource rather than something that you're stuck in. And just like share that wisdom without needing to relive your own story through that. So it's almost like you're using yourself and your past as a springboard. And yeah, once you learn to do that and you learn to have grace for that and embrace that, the good things about that, you know, without letting it define your future, you're going to free up some space for what you're meant to be creating now. And support from spirit cards. So what kind of guidance or resources are being sent to help you on this path? So pile 3, what do we have here? We have the 7 of Wands. So speaking of activism, yeah, see what you're doing in this image here? They're protesting. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's telling me that spirit is sending you lots of strength. It's sending you lots of courage. So you do have heaps of supportive energy here to just help you hold your ground when you're stepping into something big here. So it's all about you getting support and defending your values and your boundaries, even if it feels like people are against you here. So I feel like it might come as like mentors that have walked through paths that are similar to you, and that kind of teaching you how to stay resilient in that. And also communities and networks that could be online but also in person, you know, that validate you and validate your vision, to remind you that you're not alone in this. And just general opportunities to prove your commitment, right? So challenges that are going to refine your skills so that they can deepen your belief in yourself here. And yeah, it's just going to show up like that. And like little signs, like little synchronicities, that's going to be showing up when you're questioning yourself and you're questioning whether you can keep going. So it could be all about just like joining groups where you're going to be helped in standing firm in your own calling, right? Through that accountability. And also just partnering with people that's going to be respecting of you and respecting of your boundaries, and just very uplifting, right? Rather than draining, and very encouraging you to just stay authentic, even if like, you have some unpopular opinions there. So that's going to be it, you know, and you're going to be building lots of personal resilience throughout your life. Could be like through practices as well. Could be breath work, could be journaling, anything that's going to strengthen yourself from within, right? So you're in a period of just getting stronger. So the spirit's not leaving you to fight this alone, right? It's sending you lots of reinforcements here. And it's going to be backing you up as you step into your purpose here. So I feel like you faced a lot of resistance, and now, yeah, you're going to be facing more proof that what you're building actually matters here. And the last card is the next aligned step card. So what immediate action or mindset shift will bring you closer to living your purpose now? Let's see. 5 of Cups. Yeah. All right. So usually, like in the normal tarot, the Rider-Waite-Smith, this card has a figure, like this person focusing on 3 spilled cups. And then they have these 2 cups that are still upright behind them, right? And then this one here, you can see there's a person that's sad sitting here. So it is a card about sadness. It's a card about, yeah, you need to reframe your loss, right? You need to reframe your disappointments here as a redirection towards what's still possible for you. So your next step is going to be about that, about like honoring your grief, but choosing not to just get stuck there, right? And yeah, just Not saying to pretend that everything's fine, of course, if it's not, it's not about bypassing and denying your feelings, but just choosing not to get stuck too much in that. So you could just acknowledge what didn't work out, right? If it was a job, if it was a relationship, and just consciously take what remains, right? And just what lessons you have from that, like I said before, and just look at the new options that have appeared since that happened, right? And just turn those setbacks into creative fuel. So maybe like write about that, and like write about that experience, share that with other people that are needing hope, right? And just channel that into art, channel it into music. And yeah, that's gonna serve you a greater purpose here. And also just seek supportive spaces here. So just, yeah, reach out to people, like reach out to your friends, go to therapy, find a mentor, find a community group, somewhere where you can just process those feelings while also being reminded of yourself and your own strength. And just, yeah, just practice gratitude for that, even very small, like daily acknowledgements of what's actually working for you is going to help you shift your focus more into your possibilities here. So I feel like in a career, like it's all about you using that, your own healing journey, to support other people. So like grief counseling, for example, right? And coaching. So again, like charities that help people rebuild their lives after losing something, like disaster relief, and just creating art, and just something that turns pain into collective healing. Like you could be writing a book about yourself, like an autobiography. You could be, making a short film about it. Just like, just creating that community discussion here. So yeah, it's all about that. Like it's all about those 2 cups that are standing there behind you, and that's going to be your future that's waiting. So the action now is to just look at what's remaining, and be in a more positive mindset, and just be brave, be brave to take the step towards that, rather than focusing on what has been lost. And in doing so, you're going to be aligning yourself with opportunities and with blessings that are still available to you. And let's see your oracle cards here. We have the 3 of them here. I'm going to lay them out all at once. So we have trust, and we have light and love, and we have author. See? So let's read them together here. So trust. Trust your feelings and dreams to guide your career path. See? So again, with the High Priestess there especially, I do feel that some of the support you're going to be getting from the universe and from your spirit guides are going to be very much intuitive. They might come through your dreams. And I don't know if I've told you this story, if you've seen the video I made about it, but the whole idea of starting this channel came to me through a dream. So I had just done a healing session with my psychic and my healing guy, and then I just became super tired. It was right in the middle of the day. I felt extremely tired out of nowhere. So I decided to take a nap because I just couldn't keep my eyes open. And I was asking him in this session, because I had just lost my job just the week before. And I was desperate, like, what am I going to do? I had to have this job for 16 years and I'm just lost. And I've been laid off, so now I don't know how to pay my rent. And so I was so like overwhelmed with this tiredness that I took this nap. And I had a dream that I was scrolling my own website, and I had a bunch of different tarot readings available for booking there. And I saw my picture and I knew it was my website there. And then I saw my YouTube channel with my videos. And immediately after waking up, I told him about this. And he's like, go, do it. And I did. And then the week after, I was recording my first video for this channel. So I feel that it's going to be manifested in a similar way for you, where you're going to figure this out through your intuition and through your dreams. And then I'm here to say the same thing that he said to me, just go, do it. That's your spirit talking to you. That's how you find out about your specific purpose. Even though this is a general reading, the dream is not going to be general for you. So just listen to that. And then we have light and love. So your purpose is to bring divine healing light and love to this world. So see, again, beautiful, beautiful. And that's exactly what we're talking about. And taking those setbacks, taking those moments from your past that have hurt you, or you have felt like, why did this happen to me? Why did I have to go through so much struggle and pain? And apply those into healing other people that are still in the present moment going through a similar situation. And with this, just, you can't do it from judgment at that point, because you know what it feels like to be on the other side of that, and you can inspire other people to know that it's possible because you did it, so they can do it too. So beautiful card. And I feel that you would do this very naturally in a very compassionate way, since it's something that you yourself have lived through. And then we have author. So yeah, speaking of autobiography, you have a book inside of you that wishes to be expressed. Make the time to write it. Wow, see guys, so beautiful. Beautiful. So maybe do that and take those steps and start putting that into action. And, you know, you don't have to be like working with deadlines right now. You don't have to feel that, yeah, this needs to be ready in 6 months, but just start the first chapter, or just design the cover. You know, that's, I always start with the thumbnails. It's the designing part is one of the most fun parts for me personally. So just do that so that you can see that. You can create a mock-up of that book and see what it looks like. Create the title, take the picture for it, or design the picture, and then just start. Or maybe just start with the introduction page, right, where you're explaining a little bit of who you are, so that you can get into that flow of talking about yourself in this book, and then create the chapters. And then you can write one chapter at a time. So beautiful, beautiful guys. And this is going to be very helpful for other people too. And I feel definitely you could be writing a book about community building as well, since this is something that you feel so pulled towards. So yeah, this is what I have for you today. That's the end of your life purpose reading. And so if something in this spread resonated with you and gave you a little bit of insight about your path, I would love for you to comment down below and share with me your story and what you want to do, what you resonate with, because I do read all the comments. I do reply to all the comments. So yeah, make sure to tell me. That would be amazing to see that little message and how it landed for you. So, and if you enjoyed this reading and if you found a little bit of guidance, please give this video a like, because it really helps my super tiny channel grow, and it helps more people find these messages. And also, if you're new here and if you haven't done it yet, just hit subscribe and tap a little bell so that you don't miss any of these future pick a card and weekly forecasts. And yeah, thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I'm sending you lots of love and lots of encouragement as you go on in your path. And I'll see you in the next reading. Bye!